Alright guys, welcome back. Now we're back with the real topic, which is bearing. And what is bearing? It's the clockwise angular measurement of a place, and it is actually applicable in finding position, finding distance, and location of places. Now we can use it to navigate actually. So it is the clockwise angular measurement of a place. So it's like we have measured the distance between places. We can use bearing. We can also use bearing to locate places. Very important concept. So we look at the types of bearing. We have types. We have the two types of bearing. We have first bearing is true bearing. And you have the compass bearing. So the true bearing actually makes use of the cardinal points. You have north, east, south, and west. That is the true bearing. It actually takes its preference from the cardinal points. Yeah, you know the cardinal points. They are the north, south, east, and west, like that. And we have the compass bearing. It takes it from the fact that a compass is a needle, and this compass is, because it's a compass, we can use it to locate places. So a compass is a magnet. In that case, this is a magnet, and a magnet has two poles. It's a magnet. A compass is a magnet. So we are using the word compass bearing because we are using the phenomenon of magnet. A magnet has two poles, and the two poles of the magnet is north and south pole. So you see the compass bearing will contain letter S or N in there. We can always start with N or S, so we can look at it there. That's the north pole or the south pole, because a compass has two poles. That's how we will go to that point first. So let's look at the bearing. The compass, the true bearing, which is what is called cardinal bearing to be precise. This is cardinal bearing. Here takes reference with the poles of the cardinal point. So we look at the cardinal points, north, and it bearing starts from north pole. It starts from the north pole. So it always starts from this pole here, and it proceeds clockwise. It proceeds clockwise. According to our syllabus, we are moving with clockwise bearing, so we go with and it is a three-digit representation. So we represent bearing in 3 digits. Watch out for the key point, and we want to find the distance between the place. We will use the cosine, and even the sine. We can also use cosine there, or use Pythagoras theorem. So when we are asked to find the distance between the place, you can use basically the cosine formula, and also the sine formula or sine rule to some extent. You can use that. And you want to find the bearing of the place. You can use also the sine rule. Or you can also use the cosine rule if you want to find the angle of the place. So bearing is actually collecting the angle. So we can use sine to find angles. We can use cosine to find angles. We can even use normal sum of angles in the triangle, and we'll find the angle of the bearing. So the key points are: it starts from the north pole, it proceeds clockwise. It's a 3-digit representation. So these ones are the points that we are going to take to actually plot a bearing of a place. So now I want to find, if I say this is a town, this town is town A. Now I want to find town B is on the bearing. Town B is on the bearing 060. 060 is 60 degrees. That's what I said. It's a 3-digit representation. 3-digit representation represents bearing in 3 digits. Even if it's 1 degree, it's going to be 001. If it is 2 degrees, 002. So it's 3-digit representation. Now on the bearing, we go clockwise. According to our concept here, we move clockwise, and moving from this moving clockwise, this is 90 degrees. So all bearings between 0 and 90, they are in this quadrant, and bearing between 91, from 91 to 180, they are in this quadrant. From 181 to 270, they are in this quadrant. From 270 to 360, they are in this quadrant. So we have quadrant 1, 2, 3 in this form. As I move, I'm moving clockwise in this case, so I just use them as room there, another room there, another room here, another room here. So now if I'm looking at 60, since 60 is an angle between 0 and 90, I'm going to expect 60 to be here. So if I say the bearing of B from A, so I locate my B. This B also has its own cardinal point. Every place has a cardinal point here, so B has its own cardinal point. And because I said bearing start from North Pole, it should start from this North Pole and it proceed clockwise. This is the hand of the clock goes this way. This is the clock. This is clockwise. So I'm moving this way. Clockwise. This is anti-clockwise or anti-clockwise. So move. This is the angle. For now, I put the angle. When I'm registering it as a bearing, I put the 0 degrees there. So this is 60. What if I want to allocate a point C? A point C on the bearing 125. 125 degrees is between 90 and 180. So 125 is going to be in this room. So here the bearing of C from A is 125. I still start from the North Pole, I go there. This is 125 degrees. 125 is between 90 and 180, and it's in this quadrant. Now I still want to locate a point D which is 200. 200 is between 180 and 270. This is 270. 180 and 270 is between here. So I locate that. This is point D. Point D is 200 up to there. 200 is between 180 and 270. So the bearing of D, 200, is going to be here. So this is 200 degrees there. And I want to locate a point E. Point E is on the bearing, let's say 310. So 310 is between 270 and 360. So now it's here, room 4. So I bring it there. Here, this is E there, and it is T310. So I move right there up to that. It's 310. So I've already given all the points in all the quadrants there. So when the bearing is between 0 and 90, it's in that quadrant. This is between 91, from 91 to 180 is in this quadrant. From 181 to 270 is in this quadrant. From 271 to 360 in this quadrant. Now this is the position of the bearing. This bearing is taking reference from the cardinal point. So what if I want to use the compass bearing to also locate this? I can also write compass bearing. So you can see that if I want to locate E and B, I'm using the compass bearing to locate point E and point B in this compass bearing. So watch out here. I said the compass is having 2 poles. So they have the magnet has 2 poles. So now see, the compass also makes reference to the cardinal points, but here we are just concerned with its movement from the North Pole. This is north and this is south. So now I want to locate the same B here. So point B from A was 60 degrees from the North Pole of this. So I can write this B again as, now B is supposed to be not 60 degrees B, not 60 degrees E. That is B I'm trying to locate. North, from the North Pole I go 60 degrees towards the east. So it is written also as north 60 degrees towards the east. So I can locate it there. I start from the North Pole here, then I go 60 degrees there. So this is T, my position B. This is 60 degrees. So I'm moving 60 degrees from the north. I go towards the east, but I should cover 60 degrees. So this bearing is the same as this position. This position is moving 60 degrees from the North Pole clockwise. So this B is the same position here. So if I don't want to use the 3-digit representation, I can use the compass bearing representation. This 60 degrees from the North Pole is also the same as writing it in this form. Now I still want to locate E. E can be located also. This is B. I want to locate E. So remember, I went this way up to 310. So the remaining angles here to make it 360 is 50 degrees. So I have 50 degrees here to add to this to give me that. So now I'm going from the North Pole towards the west. This is the west. So if I want to locate E, I'm going towards the west, not towards the west. So I'm moving there. This is north. So I'm trying to locate point E again in the compass bearing situation. So now I'm moving this way there. This is 50 degrees. So it's 50 degrees, but I'm moving not 50 degrees towards the west. So if I want to locate this, it becomes north 50 degrees towards the east. So watch this position and watch this position. So I still want to locate this point here. I want to locate point E. Remember, this was 90 degrees and this is 35. So if I remove 35 from the 90 degrees, I'll be left with 55. So this 55 here. So I'm trying to locate point C, but I start from the South Pole in that fashion. So this is point, remember this was 125 there. So if I remove 90 from 125, I'm left with 35. So this angle is 35. So the remaining here to complete the 180 is 55. So this is 55. So now I'm locating C. So I should go there. This is C. This is this position, but under the compass bearing, I'm now moving from the South Pole, covering 55 degrees. So I'm moving 55 degrees there towards the south. So C is south, 55 degrees towards the east. This is 5. This is 5. South 55. Sorry. This is south. The 5 and the S, they are the same. Let me write it in small form, so you understand the difference between the south and the number 5, 55. So 55, that is here. This is 55, south 55 degrees towards the east. I'm going towards the east that way. So that is how I'll locate this point C. Now I still want to locate point D under the compass bearing. So watch here. This I'm moving from, this is 200. All here is 200, but this is 180. So the angle here is 20 degrees because angles on a straight line is 200 up to here. It's 180. So from this line up to here is 200, so the remaining here is 20. So if I remove 180 from 200, I'm left with 20. So now I want to locate D. So D, this is point D here. It is moving from this South Pole. I have to cover 20 degrees from the South Pole towards the west. So this is 20 degrees there, and that's it. So now because it's D, I'm moving to South Pole 20 degrees towards the west. So now I've located point D, which is moving from the South Pole 20 degrees towards the west. So I've located all 4 of them under the compass bearing situation. So we have the true bearing, which we make use of 3-digit representation. I just go over that. It starts from the North Pole, and proceed clockwise, and it is a 3-digit representation. I must use 3 digits to represent them. This is what I'm representing. And if I want to find the distance, I use the cosine and the Pythagoras theorem. If I also want to find the bearing, I can use the sine rule. These are the 2 prominent questions you'll be asked to explain or calculate the distance. So that is the bearing. This is a true bearing, which is taking reference with the cardinal point. So we also have the other form of the bearing, which is compass bearing, which takes its reference from the compass, which is a magnet, and magnet has 2 poles. So when you see the bearing is described using letters starting from N and S, you now know that it is compass bearing. So compass bearing is written in this form. It's only take reference from North Pole. It always start with north or south. It starts with north or south. It must only start with N or S because it is compass, and compass is a magnet. A magnet has 2 poles. The poles are north and south pole. So in the question where you see south 55 degrees that, or any bearing starting with N and S, you know that it's compass bearing. So the difference here is only the location, but when we come to the calculation, it's going to be the same procedure to calculate the distance and the same procedure to calculate the bearing of the place. So now you know the difference. So we're going to use these 2, and we'll use one of them. Let's concentrate on the cardinal bearing, and we'll solve your private was question, which is saying 3 times A, B, and C are such that the distance between A and B is 50 kilometers. and the distance between A and C is 90 kilometers. If the bearing of B from A is 070, so it's using 3-digit representation, so we are going to use this cardinal approach and we get there. So let me just draw the diagram for you here. That is it. So we now have this cardinal. This is 3-digit representation, 3-digit representation. So we are going to use the cardinal bearing or the true bearing to approach to solve the problem. So it starts from the North Pole, we say so, and it proceeds clockwise. Do there. This is south, this is west. So the bearing, they say the bearing, if the bearing of B from A, so if I tell you to move from Gambia to America, you have to start from Gambia. So if I see the bearing of B from A, I must first of all locate the position A, because it is from that A I'll be able to locate the B. So if I say move from Gambia to Nigeria, you are supposed to start from Gambia and go. So if I'm finding the bearing of B from A, I have to locate A first. And this 7075 means that it is in this quadrant. It is 0 to 90 is within this quadrant, because I said all bearing with number 0 to 90, they are in that quadrant. So 75 is going to be there. That is a 75. This is B. So it is 75 there. Now I have, and the bearing of C from the same A is 310. 310 is between 270 and 360. So 310 here. So it's going to be in this first quadrant here, this quadrant. So the 310 is somewhere there. So I locate it there. And this is C. C is 310. So I start from there also. I go up to that. This is 310. So 310 is there. So now we have up to there is 75, which is 075 means 75 degrees. The angle is 310. 310 is between west and north, so it's in this quadrant. Now the question says if AB is 50, AB is 50, so this distance here is 50 kilometers. That's the distance there. And AC is 90. AC is 90. This is 90 kilometers. And I've drawn 90 longer than 50 because 50 is shorter. And now I've drawn the 90 as far as there. Let me just put it there. So I'll draw it a little bit longer so it appears here. This is C. So it's longer because this is 90 and this is 50. Your diagram must rhyme with what is on the question. The distance AB is 50. The length 50 must be shorter than the length 90. It's 90. So I now locate, they say find the distance between the two of them. So now I have locate this. So I locate a point there. So you can find out that I have located this is N. So this goes there. Now it says find the distance between B and C. B and C. That distance is here. Let me call it X in that case. Now I need to find, when we are doing cosine, we said cosine is used to find the distance from here. We are finding the distance, so we are coming to use the cosine. I remember the cosine formula. The cosine formula said that this is south. It says if I'm finding this is X square is equals to this side square plus this side square. So I can find 50 square plus 90 square minus 2 into 50 times 90. So I bring this S a little bit up. 50 times 90, then cos of, now I need this angle in there. What is this angle here? This is 310, so I'm left with 50. Yeah, so now between this line and this, we have these angles there. Yeah, so the total angle between this line and this line, I'm adding this to this. So you now have 125 degrees. How did I get the 125? I added 75 plus the 50. How did I get 50? You know the bearing starts from the North Pole. It proceeds clockwise until the point going to C. This is 310. So 310 from 360, I'll be left with the 50 degrees. So the remaining is 50 degrees. So the 50 plus the 75 give me the 125. So now I've got the 125. So now you have, this is 2500 plus 8100. Then you have 2 into 4500. Then cos of minus 0. So you use your calculator and you punch 125. This is cos 125. It's minus 0.5736. 36 there. So now we as usual, you have to also be careful here. So we add here, this is 10,600. There we have minus, this is 9 tau. Then you have minus 0.5736. If you punch this on your calculator, you get a figure. So now I come back here. Be careful here. You don't subtract before clearing the bracket. You have to clear the bracket first before you subtract. So I clear the bracket by multiplying this minus by this minus, gives me plus. So I have 9,000 multiplied by that number. So I have to multiply 0.5736 multiplied by 9,000. So have 5,162.4. So now this is 10,600. This is plus 10,600. This is 15,762.4. So you add that. So if you take the root of that, this is root of that number, you have 125.5. So x is equals to root of 15,762.5. This gives you 125.5. So kilometers. So the distance between B and C is 125. This is 125.5 kilometers. So that's how we use the cosine formula to get the answer there. Now the second question says, now find the bearing of C from B. So if we are finding the bearing of this C from B, so here we want to start from the North Pole. Remember the compass bearing? It's a bearing starts from the North Pole. So since I'm finding the bearing of C from B, I must start with the North Pole here. So this North Pole, and we said bearing is proceeding clockwise, so we'll proceed clockwise. So I'm finding all this angle, all the angles to that point. So this is the bearing I'm looking for. That is the second question. It's a find the bearing of here. So let me put the 50 here. It says all this angle is the bearing. So from north to south, I already know that it is 180 degrees. That is from north to south. It's 180 angles on the straight line. Then I also know that this angle is equal to this because Z angles are equal. Alternate angles are equal. So this angle too is 75. So I've got 75 there. Yes, so I'm not done with the bearing because the bearing should go up to, I'm finding the bearing of C from B. So I should move from the North Pole and go clockwise until I touch the line going to C. So now I've gone up to this point. So I need to go further. So I need to find this angle. This is a small angle I need to find. That's it here, theta. So when I find that angle, I add it to theta. So this gives me the total bearing. So if I add this, so I need to find that theta there. That theta is an unknown angle which I have to find. So now this will lead you to the cosine formula, if you like. Now cosine formula says this side divided by the angle inside is equals to this side divided by this angle here, as also this side divided by this. But I'm not interested in this angle, I'm only interested in this. So I can use the sine rule. So remember the diagram for the sine rule. So let's say something like this. Now I have 125.5, then I have here 125 inside, then I have B here, then that's C, and this is A. I've got 50 here, I've got 90 here. So now I want to find this angle. That angle is what I'm looking for. That is what is inside here, theta. So I have to find is, I have to use the sine rule. Sine rule says I must use this side divided by its angle. So it's going to give me something like this. Now I have 125.5 divided by sine 125 is equals to, I'll find this is opposite this, so I use the 90 all over sine theta. So that's what I'm supposed to do to get the theta. So I cross multiply. So 125.5 sine theta is equals to 90 sine 125. So I divide here by 125.5, divide here by 125.5. So this guy will go. So I have sine theta is equals to 90 sine 125 all divided by 125.5. So you can punch that from your calculator. This is 90 sine 125, 90 sine 125.5 is equals to, so you have, no, this is 73. Because of space, I'll just punch everything inside. This one gives you 73.27, then divided by 125.5. So this gives you 0. This is sine theta is equals to 0.5838. So you get the sine inverse. So theta is sine inverse of 0.5838. So second function that you get the sine. Yeah. So you now have 35. So theta is 35.7, which is approximately 36 if you run up there. So now I'm finding the bearing now. So the total bearing is going to be there. So yeah, so the bearing is now equals to 180 plus, so I draw that 180 plus 75 plus the angle you have found, which is 36 plus 36. That's the one here. All will give you 291 if you check that from the calculator. So the bearing of C from B is 291, and 291 is between which two letters? Even from your diagram, you know 291 is here, is between 270 and 360. So the 291 must be inside this quadrant. So that is where C is. You can see from the diagram. So C is in that quadrant. So that all of this is 291. So I found here first 180. That one is found by normal geometry. This is 90, 180 angles on the straight line. Then I found this angle is alternate to this. So Z angles. So alternate. If this is 75, this is 75. So I'm now here. But I need to go up to there. So I need to find this angle. This small angle is what we have found there from the sine rule. So we found the sine rule. You see, this side divided by the sine of that is equals to this side divided by the sine of this. So we did the math and we came across a number 36. So this theta here is 36 degrees. So now we have 180 plus 75 plus 36 give me 291, which is the bearing of C from B. So that's the end of that question. So you now see how the bearing is calculated. So watch out for the question. It says that, let's get a summary of this. We said the bearing is moving from North Pole, always start from North Pole and go clockwise, yeah? And because the bearing is 0.75, 75 is between this quadrant. So we move here, that's why we are able to link it there. This is 0.75 is between this quadrant, and 310 is between this quadrant. So, and the length 50 is shorter than the length 90. So we have got the two sides of the triangle. In cosine formula, you want to apply it, you look for the two sides must be there and the included angle. How did I get this? 125. This is 75, and I have moved up to 310. So the remaining is 50. So 50 plus 175 will give me 125. So I've got the internal angle here. This is the angle inside. So now I'll find the cosine rule to get this distance. That is how the cosine rule is applicable. That is the end of that question. So let's do one more question in the June exam. So we blend the two exams together. This is private was November exam. Now we look at the June exam, or we also look at a question that is in this version. So let's continue.